The reasons why I nominated Harold is because of two things. His years of dedicated services with the local engineering community. Another thing is his overall achievement that he has with the Ministry of Highways.
One of the first moments I could say that I looked at engineering as a profession was a new family moved into our neighborhood, and I learned later on that he was a structural engineer for the construction of the Richardson building, which was then the tallest building in Manitoba. And I was infatuated with just seeing the plans, and then as I was growing up, Lego became a big thing, shall we say. And there were a few other, building sort of toys type of thing that sort of were my influence when I was very young. I stayed with that right through, went into high school, took some drafting, to understand that side of it. Went to University of Manitoba and got my degree from there. And then my employment started right after that with the Ministry of Highways. My role was to supervise a survey crew, some soils or gravel testing staff, and supervise the construction of a road that a contractor, private contractor, or maybe government forces at the time would be building somewhere in Saskatchewan. So I started up in what was then called the Saskatoon district, and my first project was on Highway 312 up by Waka.
He's very comfortable, talking with our students. He's willing to share his experience and expertise.
What I thought, being good for an engineer was being the strong in the math and the sciences, those kind of things. That's just the application, Engineering also involves communication, with whether it's the other people, with their client, or however it is, or even with other people there. But interpersonal skills is a big part of, being an engineer. You're working almost always as a team, shall we say. So you're not an island unto yourself. You're working with others, and so working collaboratively, effectively. You want to have fun because that just makes the day go by much quicker.
A fantastic supporter to our education goal at the university.
We've taught you how to think like engineer. You're now going to go out in the workforce, and you're going to have other engineers that teach you how to become a professional engineer.
He's currently serving as the chair of the South Saskatchewan session of the Canadian Society for Civil Engineering.
I was a student member back in my day, back in the 80s. Wasn't involved with it early in my career, but got back into it in the late 90s and been in various roles there and helped host 2 national conferences that we've had here in Regina. So a lot of my volunteer work, shall we say, with professional society has been with the Canadian Society for Civil Engineering.
Harold has a very easygoing personality. You can actually talk to him with quite a lot of different topics, and a lot of time, he's able to share his wisdom.
The best part of being an engineer, it's a fundamental element that I looked at, and it's taken years to realize this. We, as a profession, enable ideas to come to life, shall we say. I'm deeply honored that I'm joining a long list of very worthy candidates that have received this award ahead of me. Many of them are people that I've personally known and do really respect for the work that they've done. A number of them have even been mentors of my early career with the Ministry of Highways. I'd also want to, at this time, acknowledge the support of my family, my wife Anne, my 4 children, Kaylee, Thomas, Dane, and Elliot. I must also acknowledge the many colleagues that have worked beside me as I've gone through my career and through my volunteer work. It really has been a team effort, and the saying is true: many hands do make the work lighter.